So today we are doing part 3 of our midterm review. So keep taking notes, copy everything I write, and email me if you have any questions. My face is not showing up. Oh well, Allie, you're not going to see my face today. I'm very sorry. We're just going to keep going with this. So I think you can see the screen though. Okay. So graphs and functions is what this section is called, and it's all about how to read a graph properly. So this graph has the number of CDs and the total cost of those CDs. So you're going to get a chart with some kind of information. It's not going to be exactly like this, but it'll be very similar. And it'll have questions for you. So for example, how much was spent for 4 CDs? 87 what? Yes, good. So $87 would be the answer to that question. You just have to follow the chart and read, when we bought 4 CDs, we paid $87. And then number 2, if $58 was spent, how many CDs were bought? Ah, very good. That's the exact answer I was looking for. 2 or 3. We can't tell because apparently it's the same cost to buy 3 CDs as it is to buy 2.
Well, maybe it's a discount.
I think it is some kind of like they want you to buy 3, so they're giving you a deal.
Yeah, buy one.
So raise your hand if you'd only buy 2. Raise your hand if you'd buy 3.
I thought none.
It's any CD you want, so it's good. You can pick the artist, you can pick whatever. All right, so that's it for this section. It's just reading a chart and answering the question according to the chart. So we'll be right back. For 1-9 statistics, we're going to have some more charts and graphs that you're going to have to be able to interpret the information on. So when you get your test, you're going to want to look at what is on the side of the graph and what is on the bottom. So on the side we have what?
Money saved.
Money saved. And on the bottom we have
Week's work.
Weeks worked. So how many weeks you worked versus how much money you're saving. So we can see that this chart or graph goes in a straight line, and it's going to ask you a question like, after 5 weeks, how much money had this person saved? And what are you going to say?
$1,000.
$1,000. So you just, again, it's very similar to reading the last chart. You go to the number 5, right here, and then you go to $1,000 and you see where those two meet. And they meet right there at $1,000. And you might have another question that says, if they saved $400, how many weeks? So tell me, how many weeks? 2 weeks. All right, so we can read this chart either way. We can read it using the bottom numbers or using the side numbers. Okay, we'll be right back. So in this section, you get some choices of graphs, and you're going to look at the graph, and the question might be, for example, toddlers get hurt more than babies and teenagers. Okay, so we talked about how toddlers get hurt more than babies and teenagers because they're just learning to walk and they do crazy, dangerous stuff sometimes. So they get hurt a little bit more, and babies pretty much just lay there, so they don't have a high chance of getting hurt. And so which graph represents toddlers getting hurt more? Well, if the beginning of the graph represents babies and the end of the graph represents teenagers, which one shows more in the middle, in between? And the class agreed that it was this one. This chart shows that when they're a little bit older, they get hurt more, but then as they get older, they start getting hurt less again. Okay? Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to try to talk faster. The last thing in this section is circle graphs. And for circle graphs, you have to know one thing. How much do all the pi pieces in the circle graph have to add up to? 100%. If they do not add up to 100, guess what? It is not a valid graph. It's inaccurate. It doesn't count. So make sure all the values add up to 100. I don't remember. Okay, so for this one, it's going to give you a number line with some points plotted. You have to list the numbers that are plotted on this number line. So literally your answer, I'm going to use those solution set bars, and you're just going to write the numbers in order from least to greatest with commas in between. And that's all there is to that one. Okay, so number one, this is adding and subtracting rational numbers. So rational numbers, again, are either decimals or fractions. And I didn't put any adding and subtracting of fractions on your exam, just decimals. So you have to remember your rules about integers. When you add and subtract integers, if the signs are the same, you add. And if the signs are different, you good. So -5 plus 8 is what?
-2, 4, 8.
Stop guessing.
Negative what? Negative 5. It's 3.
It's positive 3 because the 8 is bigger and it's positive, so the answer is going to stay positive. All right, how about the next one? Are the signs the same or different?
Negative 40.
They're the same, so I add the numbers, and it's 40, but the answer keeps the sign, which is negative. Good. Again, you can use your calculator. That's fine. Just make sure you enter it exactly how it looks. So what is 5.6?
So the number takes the sign of the bigger number.
The answer takes the sign of the bigger number.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, when the signs are different.
Number 3 is negative 9.3.
Okay, stop, please.
Okay, I'll pause after this one. Negative 9.3, correct, because the signs are different, so we're subtracting, but the answer keeps the sign of the bigger number, which is negative.
No.
Hold on, Ethan. Okay, for number 4, there's a special rule. What do I have to do first on number 4?
Parentheses first.
Well, yeah, but there's something special in this problem that I have to fix first. Okay, there's 2 negatives right next to each other, and they turn each other positive. So the first thing I'm doing is changing those signs. Now, are my signs the same or different? Different. They're different, so I'm going to subtract. And then the answer keeps the sign of the bigger number, which is what?
8.4.
8.4 is bigger, and it's positive. So 4.7. And we're going to leave it positive because the 8.4 is positive and it's bigger. Lifestyle. I am a morning person. Okay, here we go. So on this section, 2-3, multiplying rational numbers. When you're multiplying fractions, what do you do?
Multiply them.
Yes, how?
Take the top number.
Good. That's right. Good job. So you multiply the top numbers together and you multiply the bottom numbers together. So what is 3 times -2?
-6.
Yes. And what is 5 times 7? And that is all there is to it. But number 2 has a twist. So what do I have to do to number 2 before I can solve it?
Add to multiply 3 and 1 and then add the 2.
Very good. I have to change them to improper fractions. So 3 times 1 is
3,
plus 2, 5. But I keep the bottom number. Yep. And then do the same thing to this one. 11 times 3.
Oh, 11, 33.
33 plus 6.
39.
39. Keep the bottom number the same.
Sorry.
And then again, we're just we're multiplying the top two numbers together and multiplying the bottom two numbers together. So what is 5 times 39? Somebody with a calculator. 195 over 33. Good. Multiply the bottom numbers, you get 33. And that's it. You don't have to reduce. We're just figuring out what that equals there. And then there's another section under this 2-3 heading, and it says simplify. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply or add and subtract and combine like terms. So when I see number 3, I see negative 3a times 4bc. So remember, you're going to multiply the numbers together. What's negative 3 times 4? Negative 12. And then you're just going to write the variables in ABC order. There's an A, a B, and a C. That's it. And how about number 4? What do I have to do first? Yes, 3 times 2x equals how much? 6x. I'm going to bring this down because I didn't use it yet. Now they both have an x, so I could combine them. What is 6x minus 15x?
9x squared.
Just 9x. Negative 9x, because the 15's bigger and it has a negative sign on it. Okay, for the last section, 2-4, we're dividing fractions. So what do we have to do when we're dividing fractions? Yes. Yay. Keep, change, flip. So we're keeping the first fraction the same. I'm changing what?
The top number in the bottom.
Changing the addition.
Changing the sign to what?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. And then flipping what? Yeah, the second fraction is getting flipped. Now I can just multiply like normal. I'm going to multiply my top numbers and multiply my bottom numbers. So what is 5 times 13?
65
Over 56. And that is it. Just make sure you keep change flip. And the last one for today is a decimal. So for decimals, you're just going to enter it into your calculator just like you see it. 38.6 divided by negative 2.5, and it equals 50.44.
Yeah.
Okay, negative 50.44. And that is all. So 15. I thought 50 sounded too high.
I was like,
Okay, thank you for checking and correcting. 15.44. So this is the last day that I have this class before your exam. You need to go over the notes. If you find that you have a question about something, email me because I can always make another video to explain something and throw it up in Google Classroom for you. So go over your notes, go back through Google Classroom and click on any IXL that we've done this whole year so far, and that will help you also study. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you later.